So this is OnePageCRM. We started off with the premise that we wanted to make it as easy to use as email. So it's no surprise what you see here now on this CRM. This is the main homepage, and the reason we're called OnePageCRM is because the salesperson can do everything from here. So that's what makes us quite unique. These are actually your contacts. It's not a list of tasks or anything like that. So it's actually a contact, and you can see their name, their company, and then the next action. This really is our DNA. What is the one next action with every contact here? And of course, we can add other actions, but we always display, well, what is the next one? The next action is always the most important. And as you can see here, they're sorted, and let's go into a contact here. So looks a little bit like maybe you have in LinkedIn. So this is what we see is a really good way here. So we've got the contact details up at the top. So who am I dealing with? What's the company? I can jump and click on these. I can go into their LinkedIn profile, and I have a background here that I can expand on. So maybe I can take some notes and put into their background. And when we import, we can also have backgrounds come in there. I can see some details on their company. So it gives me that, or I can go into the company page, and you can have multiple people in this company. But in essence, here is the contact, the main person I might be selling to. And then this is, like I said, the DNA of our application. What is that one next action? Of course, I can come over here and I can add additional actions underneath it, but we're always focusing on that one thing. So I need to email Michael, or Milo is his name. We can add the usual thing like notes, calls, and deals. This is what a deal looks like in OnePageCRM. It can be expanded to see all the details. As you can see here, and we'll build a deal in seconds, in a few minutes. I just want to show you what a deal looks like there. And as we go down, this is a new feature. It's not live yet, but I can look and I can see if this person has, support emails. So like I said, a CRM should be a central database within your company. So from here, if I find this contact, I can now find some other issues that maybe customers having, because we're connecting to the support system, the ticketing, the desk center. And then you've got a timeline of all the interaction with that customers, their past, any notes you might have taken on them, deals that are being passed, all their emails, synchronizing coming in here, any changes. So that's that contact. So now I'm going to just show you quickly if we are talking about getting information in. You can add contacts by just clicking an individual contact, or we can import from files and stuff like that. But I'm going to show you here Keith, my co-presenter today. And so Keith we found like he is here in LinkedIn. Maybe I'm connected to him already or not. And we're connected, so got some details here. So I'm just going to hit this button up here. It's a one-page CRM clipper, and all the details from the LinkedIn is brought in here. And I should also set up a next action as well. I'll put that down here. Maybe I'll do it, and I'll do it tomorrow, and we'll save that. So now that details for Keith has gone into OnePageCRM. I can go back to OnePageCRM, and if I refresh here, I'll see here's Keith tomorrow. Actually, we'll do that ASAP. And so I'm going to change it. If I refresh here, now Keith is up at the top. Maybe it's something I want to do really fast. So I open up this, I can see all Keith's information. I didn't have to type a thing. All came from LinkedIn, and there's the next action. That is the focus for Keith. This is really pushing that whole concept of the follow-up. That follow-up is what we call that next action, and I should email Keith now straight away. Or maybe I have to do up a deal for Keith. And this is, now I can pretend that this is a company that maybe sells solar panels or something like that. And Keith was inquiring about this kind of stuff here. So some solar panels, septic tank as well. So we inserted those. They go in very quickly. Yeah, he wanted maybe 10 of those. Everything is done. And I save it. And that is an opportunity now done and saved. I can now click on email. It'll email Keith that quote. And we can see here where we've highlighted the deal inside in the email. So they'll get that deal in the email colored in green. We've shown that from an inquiry to getting a quote back into prospects inbox in our system about 35 seconds. So our system is trying to be that easy to use, but huge focus on speed. So now I can send that email, actually will send it from my OnePageCRM address, and that should be gone out to Keith. Keith can confirm later if he got that quote back. And let's say he comes back to me and he says, brilliant, love it, let's do it. And we want now, we deliver this thing and I want to send it to Zero. And this is a good example of now integrating with other systems. So that email that you saw that I just sent to Keith actually went out through my email account. So it's actually in the sent folder of my email account, and it's like 100% deliverable because we didn't send it through any proxy email account. It goes right out. We've a deep integration with Outlook and with Gmail. And we also have integrations with the likes of Zero. So let's say Keith says, yes, great, we did it, we delivered these products, and we now want to invoice Keith. So with one click here on the button in Zero, I can actually create an invoice. And so again, you haven't heard me typing any one thing yet. I took Keith in from LinkedIn, and we could have clipped him from maybe an email, or it could have been automatically created from an email from a web form. I could have clipped Keith from Facebook or Twitter and basically set up a deal in seconds, email it to them, and send the details to Zero. Again, going back to my very first slide about my character is I don't like, repetitive work, and that is like data entry, stuff like that. And I mentioned about the owner of a small business being a little bit allergic to admin, and hence our system looks like this because I have that little natural streak of laziness. I don't like typing. So I want things to be very smooth. So if Keith is my prospect, in a few clicks, I want to be able to set him up in our system, create a deal or an opportunity for him, send it to him, and even send that deal or opportunity to my accounting application. And so I might have done that. And by the way, after sending that quote, maybe I move it on. There's a deal stage, and I should mark this thing done. Maybe if it was send a quote, and I should move to the next one. Now I can have saved actions that go in there, or I can just say, type it in myself. So that's the first little bit of typing I've done in the system, and I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to give them a few days. So I'm going to say, okay, end of the week, and it's a little quick link we have there, and I'm going to save that. So, you can see here it's changed to gray, so it's not pending anymore, and he is moved down to here. And as the days go by, Keith will move up the system, and he's going to turn orange, and then next Friday I should follow up after that. So that's what we do there. We have, plenty other features. I'm not going to go through them. That is, the main kind of stuff that we do that I wanted to show you. We also have something, that segmenting. So we have statuses, we have owners and tags. So let's look at I have a demo list here. So I spoke about maybe if you're in Cork and you want to, you're visiting, and maybe this is a tag for all my Southeast prospects. I can quickly just select them all here like that, and I can go send an email. And this is bulk. Now, 8 of them, I don't know how many, there's 14 selected, but obviously 6 of them don't have email addresses. But I could actually insert a template here very quickly. Inserted 2 templates there. And, you can have all this done about you visiting the area in the Southeast. If you have some time, maybe wake up, and then I go to preview, and it's going to send those 8 emails individually out through my inbox. So they will appear not as a bulk email. There won't be anything about it that looks like it is a marketing email or it's prospecting email or anything like that. They look like they would be 100% delivered. And if I send them, then I can actually track them, and they won't even know from their side. So I didn't send anything there. But if I go into email, we detect the open tracking as well. So if somebody if I sent an email, I can track them there. So if somebody's happened, okay, this is great. So open tracking was in the quote that I sent to Keith, and it told me then somebody has opened an email, and I can see that Keith has just opened it moments ago. So I don't even have to check in. And I can see from this email it was a quote, so I can follow up on that. So that just closes that loop. I can see that Keith has opened the email, and I can then time my follow-up perfectly because I know that he has read the email. So that's our system. Like I said, anybody questions, or we have a free trial if you want to create it, and just email us. We're a very, very helpful team getting people set up. Like I said, we mostly sell by word of mouth, so we really want to impress people when they use our system. So we'll help you get started, and then hopefully you'll be the one talking about it.